So now let's talk about static routes in regards to the Bottle web app framework. Basically, what we're talking about when we're talking about routes is the equivalent of pages if you were simply designing a normal kind of web page, right? So you would have the index.html for your home page, you would have an about.html for the about page, the contact.html for the Contact Us page, so on and so forth, right? So if you were building out a website using plain old HTML, you would actually just name the pages based off of what they were with .html or .html at the end. Basically, all we're doing here with the Bottle web app framework is it's the same idea, but we're using the route decorator. So if you're going to the /, that's the equivalent of index or the home page, and so this is what will be delivered to the visitor when they go to your home page. If you do this /about, that's the equivalent of going to the about page, and this is what will be delivered to the visitor when they go to the about page. So when we're talking about routes, think of this as essentially just the individual pages within your website. So now let's take a look at a Bottle web app that has a couple of static pages on it. At the top, as always, we're going to import. So we're going to say from Bottle, we need to import both run and route. So run is so that we can actually run the script as a web app, and route is because we need that decorator, so basically direct visitors through the website. We're then going to come here to line 3, at route. So this is a decorator to this index function. So this adds functionality to the index function, again, for that routing, so visitors can go to the different URLs. And then we're going to feed it a value of /. So this is essentially just a route for this web app, right? So when somebody goes to localhost port 8080 or 127.0.0.1 8080, what will they receive? They will receive the index, the default, the home page, and that is basically all this is. At the root, when somebody goes to the root, what are they going to get? We're then going to come underneath and we're going to define a function. We're going to define this function as index, right? So this is supposed to be the main page for your site. We're going to create this function index. We're not feeding it any values. We're going to do colon. We're simply going to do message equals for a string variable h1 hello world close h1. So basically the idea is when somebody goes to the index of your page, the home of your page, they will get hello world, and then we are going to return the message. When we return, that return is going to go directly to the web page, the web browser the person is looking at. We then come down here to the next page, the /about page. So this is the home page, this is the about page. So at route decorator /about. Then underneath, we're going to have a function, but it's going to have a different name. One of the things you have to be careful about is sometimes you can copy and paste things, and it sort of works. If you have functions with the exact same name throughout your script, many times it'll work, but it might be a little bit quirky. So you want to make sure all functions in your script have a different name. So def index for the home page, def about for the about page, def contact for the contact us page, so on and so forth. Don't reuse the name of functions throughout your script. You might run into some weird issues, right? So anyways, at route /about. So if you go to localhost 8080 /about, you're going to come to this function, define about, message equals h1, I am so cool, because it is about me, close h1, and then we're going to return the message. Then we're simply going to run at localhost at port 8080. So this is all we're talking about when we're talking about static pages. So basically I can click the run button, we get the local host here, so I can just simply do the command or control, click on that, and we can see, if we look up here, I don't know if you can see it, localhost 8080. So this is the home page, hello world. That is what you get when you come to the site. But what if I want to know more about your web application? So I can come up here, right, and I can do /about. You might have to just trust me on that one, but it's a localhost 8080 /about. Hit enter, and now I get I am so cool because this is what is delivered when you go to the /about route. So that's all there is to static routes. Basically, you're just creating web pages, right, using these routes, and then you're delivering whatever is supposed to be on those particular web pages. There's nothing else to it. The only quirk, the only place where you might get into problems is, again, under these different routes, make sure when you're creating the function, you call these functions by different names. If you call them by the same name, quirkiness might ensue. So that is definitely a bad thing in the tech world. But otherwise, this is really all there is to static routes.